You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Welcome to the EXP. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Chuck Pineau. Very excited, as always. Have you ever seen me? Can you imagine if I showed up, like, all depressed and stuff? Yeah, so, it's another show. No, but you know what? I mean, how can I not be excited? I get to sit down with someone, an awesome creator, different one every week. So I get to share prizes with all sorts of awesome people. By the way, awesome people, if you're out there, shout out, tell us that you're here. We got a really great dude who I had met him previously. I actually met him a year ago at Comic Palooza, but we got to really hang out this year at Comic Palooza. Actually, Henri introduced us, or we met because Henri mentioned me to Milton. And then this time we got to hang out, and we just had a blast. And he's got a book that's coming out through Scout Comics. So you'll be able to go, actually, usually we're more into like Kickstarter comics, but not today, not today. We got someone who is going straight to your local comic shop. So you'll be able to go pick up his stuff there. Super excited. We're going to have a good show. Wendy, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Yeah? Okay. Well, then maybe we'll just hang out for a minute. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Screw it. Let's start the show.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Milton, what's going on, my dude?
Oh, not much. How are you doing?
I'm good. We got Eddie here. We've got Thomas here. We've got Steve here. Yeah, I know. Steve says, is there any pizza left? Dude, I'm freaking starved. Yeah, I'd be all over that. Guys, remember, we're going to chill out and hang out with Milton. He's going to tell us all about his goodness and the cool stuff. He is going to show off a cool prize pack that he's brought for you guys. And then we're going to do some trivia. And at the end of that trivia, everybody gets a cool prize. But we have a special one for our first place winner. So, without any more ados, I see the van is holding up. That's right, man. The van is holding up. Milton Lawson is in the house. What's going on, dude?
Oh, not much, not much. I'm just still recovering from Comic Palooza. We had an awesome time, but I think we discussed this while we were there. Doing these shows can be pretty mentally taxing. You've got to be focused and on for every single second of every day, and so it takes a little while to recover.
We were even talking about it because we went drinking with like Dan Price and Doug Brown, and there was a bunch of us out there, and we were even talking like even when you're hanging out with friends, you're still kind of working, you know, and so yeah that whole like set of 3 or 4 days. It's constant.
Yeah, and I came up with a metaphor that I think some of you guys liked. I said that it feels like when you're at the con, like you're like the T-800 in the Terminator, and you've constantly got a screen going, and you are sort of scouting out people you want to meet, people you want to sell to. If this person in the AC/DC shirt comes over, I think I know which book I can pitch them, that sort of thing.
I do remember that, and that is so ridiculously close to the truth that I couldn't dare fight it, because it's true. I'll be looking like, what kind of bag are they holding? What kind of items have they already bought? Like, if they have an indie comic book, oh yeah, I'm going straight for them. So I feel you. And anything else, like absolutely. Like you said, AC/DC. I mean, that works for me. I have one of the AC/DC artists on one of my books. So yeah, like absolutely. And you're. I mean, the whole time you have to really, especially I think as indies, because, and it's not to like disparage professionals or anything, but as I've said before, to new creators and whatnot, I'll tell them, no one came to this show for you.
Right.
It's your job to make them regret that.
Yeah.
And so we have to pick up everybody who's showing up, and we have to like find those fans, like who is going to dig what we're doing. So yeah, man. So Milton, we were looking over some of your stuff. You are I would say primarily you're a sci-fi dude. Is that a fair statement?
That's my primary genre of choice. I tend to have done some stuff. I tend to have two modes: science fiction and slice of life. It wasn't planned that way, but it sort of worked out that way.
What is it about sci-fi that makes you have to work in that genre?
You know, I have always been attracted to the imaginative aspect of storytelling, and for me, sci-fi, I connect to it just a little bit closer than fantasy. I love fantasy works as well, but sci-fi is a little more closer to my heart because I was a bit of a science nerd growing up, and the sort of leap that you make to the fictional imaginary stuff, you start to cut it and slice it into rationalizations with the world building and the technologies. And if I do say so myself, that is one of the things I'm actually good at with writing, coming up with those details. So it's just a natural fit for me.
I feel like sci-fi tends to more connect to philosophy. Like a lot of philosophers and people who are kind of like thinking about what the world might look like or how they would like the world to look like. Like, I mean, even you're talking about things like Star Trek and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Very much based upon a philosophy of we all need to work together, and we need to appreciate our diversity and all that kind of stuff, rather than fight amongst ourselves. So yeah, like I think a lot of that's there. Whereas like with fantasy is just a great chance to get weird.
Yeah.
But you've got a great book out right now. It's in previews, and it should be in stores real soon. That is Orson Welles'
Warrior of the Worlds.
Warrior of the Worlds. That's right. And tell us a little bit about that one.
So I learned this last con I was just at was the first one I had a chance to pitch it to. And I've learned that I need to pitch it in sort of two different modes, because how I pitch the book often depends on whether or not a person has ever heard of Orson Welles, and more specifically, if they've ever heard of the story of the infamous prank he did in 1938 on the radio. And the funny thing is as the more often I pitch the story, the more often what happens is people at the beginning say, no, I have no idea who that is. And then when they hear about the radio prank, they go, oh, wait, yeah, I heard about that in school. So even if they can't remember him by name, a lot of people have been exposed to the story. But anyway, the story is, if you've heard of Orson Welles' radio prank, where he convinced the world that aliens had landed and were invading Earth, and he was reporting on the scene, a lot of people freaked out, and it became a huge phenomenon. And my comic book takes the premise of, well, hold on, wait a second. What if it wasn't a prank? What if there really was, in fact, an alien invasion? And what happens next is Orson Welles founds a secret government agency to protect Earth from aliens. So he's a movie director by day, alien fighter by night.
Oh, that's cool. That's a super. I have the ash can, and I was supposed to read it today, and then I was like, "Uh-oh, it's with my stuff. Like I don't know where it is right now." Oh, that's cool. Jay Burns says Miss Jen talked about this one. Sounds dope. Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, and the art's really. Who's your artist?
So the artist on the book is Eric Whalen. He's an artist based out of Michigan, and he is phenomenal. If you find him on Instagram, oh gosh, I can't remember. I think it's Eric_Whalen. He's just all the time posting really incredible stuff.
Yeah.
And I met him through a mutual creator friend. He did the art for a book called Spirit Drifters with written by a friend of mine named Rick Quinn, who one of these days everybody's going to hear of. He's the most talented writer in all of comics, in my opinion. And he signed up to do one 10-page short chapter. And then all of a sudden this got snowballed into like 150, 200-page, 7-issue saga. So a lot of sympathies for poor Eric out there.
Right. We already have the chat's already excited about trivia. No, hey, just watching, but I'll be here for trivia. Don't worry, I'm just eating my dinner. No, dude, that's dope. And what I love is that, like, in the indie comic world, we get to show off kind of, especially indie books that we've been excited about, because that is how we find artists a lot of the time, where you're like, oh my gosh, this dude is so awesome. I have the perfect project for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You had a couple other books that I was looking at. Interstellar Detective. What is that, Thomas Hopkins, or who is that?
Thompson Heller, Detective Interstellar. Come on, get with the program here, Chuck. It's meant to rhyme. Let's go. But so that was my first comic series. Got published a couple of years ago by Source Point Press, and it's about a private detective goes around the galaxy solving mysteries. One reviewer called it sort of a mashup of Blade Runner and Sherlock Holmes, and that's sort of what I was going for. And they kind of called it a space noir. It was originally released as three issues, and each issue was its own standalone mystery. But there was a bit of a arc connecting all three of them, and we collected it into a trade paperback that also pops in 3 bonus short stories in the back.
Oh, cool. My dear friend Jess Rogi's in the house. Jess, good to see you, hon. She is a big sci-fi fan as well, so I'm sure that she'll dig this. And of course, our trivia, we've got a lot of sci-fi trivia happening today, so I know that she'll enjoy that and probably do well at it too. So that one, I mean, they can already pick up is Thomas Heller, Detective Interstellar. See, I got it that time. Is that already in a trade and everything? Like, can you get that through? Yeah.
You should be able to buy it. You should be able to buy it directly from SourcePoint. And if for some reason they're out, you can. I think it's on Amazon. You can get it through Amazon, and if not, you can always just go to me, MiltonLawson.com, and I can send it to you as well.
So here's a question: a lot of us started off, having to do our own books and put them out through Kickstarter and all that. How have you been able to needle into some of these great companies like SourcePoint and Scout?
Well, in both cases, I was sort of fortunate by accident and not by design. The current book, Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds, in fact, did start on Kickstarter, and it failed. The gentleman that I just referred to you previously as the best writer in comics, one mistake he made was he whispered in my ear right before launching the Kickstarter. He's like, I was originally just going to launch the first issue. But a number of my friends said, no, do the whole thing, do the whole series. It's such a great premise. Everybody's going to love it. So I did the math, put it together, did the idea of it to be a whole graphic novel. And it was just way too ambitious. First time, I had never done a Kickstarter before. All these people were like, who is this guy? So we didn't reach our funding goal. But the campaign gathered enough interest to where some of the folks at Scout Comics saw it and said, "Hey, we like this thing. We want to do it anyway." So that's how that one came about. And then the Source Point one came about because I was an active member in the Comics Experience workshop run by Andy Schmidt. And that's where about 12 years ago, I said, okay, I'm going to try to write comics. And then about 10 years ago, after 2 years of trying and just not knowing what I was doing, I sought help because I clearly had no idea what I was doing. So I enrolled in the workshops, which is a fantastic place to learn your craft.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Basically, the way the format works is you post scripts, but to get the privilege to post the script, you have to review like 5 scripts. And so it's peer-to-peer reviews. And you learn almost as much from reviewing other scripts as you do as seeing your script feedbacked. And believe me, getting your script feedback from someone who's not a friend or family or significant other is a whole different process, and it's a very useful one. So you go through the trials and tribulations there, and they partnered up with Source Point Press to showcase some of the folks from the workshop. So that's how I got the Thompson Heller series there.
That's so cool. I love that, and it's funny because dude, Comics Experience. I've only heard good things. I actually got to meet Andy a couple of years ago, actually at Comic Palooza, and he was a great dude. Such a great font of knowledge and whatnot. Like really helpful. So yeah, I think that's an amazing way to be able to start out and really kind of. It sounds like, and from everyone else I've spoken to who've done the courses and whatnot, it's a real sort of leap into the world of comic creation.
Yeah. He's an amazing mentor. I was lucky to meet him, and he's been a huge supporter of everything I've done ever since.
Dude, that's so badass. So you actually brought some really cool stuff. One thing, so we like to give out some freebies to everybody. So what Milton has offered to do today, because we know that a bunch of you guys are going to want to pick up Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds. So what he's offering today is if you go hop on his email, on his newsletter, which you can find through your website, right?
Yeah, and it's also, I was an early adopter on Substack, so you can just go to milton.substack.com.
Okay. So either of those places, you guys can go there. If you sign up to his newsletter, you automatically get the free ashcan, which I have a copy of. I think a couple other people do. I know that who is it? Henri was selling it on his show. So yeah, there you go, dude. I love you, JD. You're such a great friggin' producer. Orson Welles, Warrior of the Worlds. You can pick that up. He's got a free PDF for you. So all of you guys out there, whether you win or don't, go there, pick that up today. You can have that in your digital collection. And then we're about to fight in the trivia trenches for an awesome package. So what did you bring for us today, bud?
So unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask everyone to use their powers of imagination, and I will just describe what the prize pack is. But the first thing, of course, is the physical ash can of Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds. And even though the cover is black and white, the content is full color. You know, much like Orson Welles in his independent years, he did lots of different projects, some color, some black and white. So we've sort of integrated that aesthetic into the comic as well. So you'll get a physical copy of Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds ash can. Then you'll get a trade package collection of Thompson Heller Detective Interstellar. And like I said, that collects 3 issues plus 3 bonus shorts. So 6 adventures with the main character. And then I have 2 self-published short comics. The first one I ever did is called Winter Sail, and it was drawn, by the way, also Thompson Heller was also drawn by the great Dave Chisholm, who was nominated for an Eisner a couple of years ago. He is dominating that niche in comics that combines comics and music, and he just got announced as doing the official graphic novel for Miles Davis. And his new project is called Miles Davis and the Search for the Sound. He's an incredible artist. He's too big time for me now, so I was lucky to work with him when I did. And my first comic short was one he did. It's called Winter Sail, and it's about a music store owner struggling with the transition from physical to digital media. And he peppered it with all kinds of really cool Easter eggs. And then the second one, the second comic short that's included in the prize package is called Roger Ebert and Me. And that was illustrated by Rem Brew, who won the Russ Manning, not won, but was nominated for the Russ Manning Newcomer of the Year award many seasons ago. He's an incredible artist based out of Germany. And Roger Ebert and Me is basically a short story that I included, that I submitted to an anthology, and the anthology was premised on people taking road trips with famous people. So I chose to take my road trip with the late great film critic Roger Ebert, because I'm a huge Roger Ebert fan. And so the short story is basically just me and Roger kind of taking a magic road trip through the world of movies.
Dude, that sounds like a lot of fun. And when I heard about that, we made sure to do some a little bit of trivia on that stuff too. So no, dude, I think that's great, man. What a fun idea, and definitely not something you would see. And I love that you've been able to kind of attach yourself to this. You know, I think it's really important for us to try to surround ourselves by greatness, certainly help lift yourself up and learn from these people who are on their way up. So I think it sounds like you're on the way, dude. Like you're really making some excellent strides. So guys, how have you not already gone to your LCS and picked out Warrior of the World? So please, guys, if you don't win tonight, hell, even if you do, go to your local comic shop, pick up Scout Comics, Orson Welles' War of the World, or Warrior of the Worlds. I do not believe that you're going to be disappointed at all. Milton, dude, I'm so happy to have you on. You've been freaking awesome, and we've learned so much. Thank you, man.
It's been a blast. I appreciate
it. You gotta love animals. You can still hear me, right?
Yes.
I am a little muffled. I'll just talk like this. No, okay, awesome. Well, Milton, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Guys, stick around. We're going to have some absolutely amazing trivia right after this. See you soon. Unless JD's not around, we'll keep talking.
Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find the link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP.
Comic Collectibles is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rockin' Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, well, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula, you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectibles with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
What is going on, everybody? See, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who screws crap up. My animals knock stuff over, I screw it up, blah, 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 and then the internet goes. So that's terrific. Now, guys, all right, we got Stevie B here, Milton's in the house, Jay Burns, Eddie, hopefully Elena comes back. Dude, you guys heard that huge package. You've got a mad trade, you've got a brand new comic from Scout, you've got a bunch of shorts. How can you go wrong there? Let's do some trivia. Wendell, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Woo! You ready for some trivia today?
I am.
And again, thank you, Milton, for coming out, man. We appreciated having you here. Guys, go to your local comic shop and pick up Orson Welles' Warrior of the World now. Candace Lucia is here. Perfect. Glad to see you, Elena. Eddie just says pot is a wonderful thing. I'm not allowed to comment on that probably and say I agree, so I won't say that. Wendy, do we have a question number 1?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you want to tell it?
Sure. All right, number 1. On what holiday did the original reading of The World of Worlds by Orson Welles broadcast?
Ooh. JD says I may have exaggerated my ability to afford edible on the last show. So yeah, which holiday did Orson Welles' big prank, as it was called, based on the War of the Worlds, what holiday did it coincide with? And remember, guys, we give out points to everybody who plays. 3 points for the first person to answer. So if Stevie B was correct, he would get 3 points. And then if Steve Vendetta was second one to chime in with the correct one, they would get 2 points. And then everybody else would probably get a point, so long as they're in and they're giving us answers. And if you see an answer that somebody else did, and actually, Eddie, you're very correct. It did coincide with Halloween, but it was actually the day before Halloween, which is often known as Devil's Night, but Halloween is the answer we had. So we're going to give 3 points to CVB, 2 points to Steve Vendetta. We're going to give some love to Eddie and Jay Burns. So points all around for everybody. You know what? Yeah, see, Jay Burns says Devil's Night. Yeah. And the only reason I knew there was a Devil's Night was because of The Crow. Love that movie. So yeah, we already have points happening. Feeling good. We got everything rolling. Wendy, do we have a question too?
No, I skipped numbers.
Okay, good. Okay, so
this is number 6.
great. At some point, we're like, question 17.
But there's still only 10 questions.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Okay, so since I said 6, I'm going to go to number 6. You ready?
Are you actually doing that?
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, question 6.
Right. What is the best-selling sci-fi book of all time?
Wow, you got really loud all the time.
Because I can't hear it very well through the
Oh, okay, smart. What is the best-selling sci-fi book of all time? And this one's a tougher one because I don't think it's that common knowledge. So start throwing books at us. And remember, if you see someone who has a good answer, take their answer. Who cares? Ooh, we got War of the Worlds there. I, Robot, dude, both great books. Both incorrect though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to give Chuck the author for him to get it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, is it H.G. Wells? And she was like, no. I was like, okay. That.
As soon as you heard the author, though, you knew who it was.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I did. Yeah. Rhymes with tune. Eddie, very smart. Jay know what's going on. Frankenstein. That's a good one, actually. That's a very good answer. The Time Machine. No, man. So we do have two answers here. Jay Burns came in with Dune. Jay Burns said that's right. And then Elena came in with Dune right afterwards, so she gets the 2 points. And then we got points all around for Stevie B, Steve Vendetta, Eddie. I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
There's some good answers in there, by the way, guys. Like, there was no bad answers there. Time Machine's great. Frankenstein, I hadn't considered it like that, but yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people more consider it horror, but there's definitely a sci-fi aspect to it. So yeah, I love that.
They combine genres all the time.
Is that allowed? I thought like segregation of genres.
No, that's no fun.
All right. Question number whatever you've decided to do.
We'll go to number 2.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right, number 2. What 1982 sci-fi novel received a positive 76% review, but its movie adaptation only garnered a measly 3% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Ooh. I remember watching this movie. I Make My Wife. Oh my gosh. It came out the exact same time as the X-Men. I love telling this story. And I was so excited about watching the X-Men.
I know.
And Wendy and I both had a movie that we were excited about. I was excited about X-Men. And we all knew X-Men did really well. And then she was so excited about this movie because she'd read the book and loved the book and thought, oh my gosh.
It's an awesome book.
I've heard that. And Wendy is not finished. Not to be rude, but she hasn't read an awful lot of books. So the fact that she loved it is really cool. Not the Andromeda Strain. But yeah.
The movie came out in the 70s.
Pardon me?
I think the Andromeda Strain movie came out in the 70s.
Yeah. So, and I gave you guys a huge hint by telling you it came out the same time as the X-Men. And we went and watched both. And my movie was great, and her movie was terrible. And from then on, I was like, you are not allowed to pick the movies. She has since...
Give a hint?
Pardon?
Can you give a hint?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It has been dubbed the worst movie ever made.
He says, hint, love is this.
Yeah. Yeah, JD knows.
That's good, JD. That's good.
And by the way, I love that song.
That's, Pat Benatar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man! Eric Cockrell coming in with an answer. I did not expect that. Holy crap. And what a good answer it is, too. Travolta, baby!
Yeah.
The Iron Superman. That's good, Elena. All right, people. Keep giving us your answers so you can get your points. Somebody already has the 3 points, so who wants the 2? Steal the good answers. That's what it's all about at this point. Eric, we've definitely spoken about that before. Yeah, I've definitely told that story before. Disco Klingons. Well, the answer's up there. Go ahead and, guys, get your... okay, we do have 2 points now. Steve has the Battlefield Earth for the 2 points. We're going to give some points to Eddie. We're going to give points to everyone. Oh, Lyle received his prize on Monday. That's awesome, dude. Which prize did you receive? I think that was from Laura Calcaterra, wasn't it? Or Lori, sorry. Alien Grease. Yeah, make sure even give Jess some points too. Let's get everybody on the board. Let's have a good time. We've done.
Now she's gonna feel obligated to answer questions.
Well, good.
Yeah.
The 1,000-year-old Harrier jets with non-degraded fuel were the nope moment for me. You remember more than I do, JD. I just remember it was effing terrible.
I completely just wiped the movie from my mind so I can remember how good the book was.
You know what was sad is that it co-starred. Whitaker was in that movie, and Travolta, and several people. There was this.
It all came down to to how they cut it up.
Yeah.
And it was all John Travolta.
Well, what was sad was Barry Pepper was in that movie. And no one remembers him. He was like the leader of the humans or whatever. And what's sad is that he was like super excited. Like I knew people who knew him. That's what they base Scientology off of, I believe. Yeah, and it's also the author.
Well, it's the author of Scientology.
Yeah.
Founded Scientology.
Yeah. So yeah, poor Barry Pepper, who was all excited, like I'm in this amazing movie, and I think because he was in that movie and he was an unknown, he like never really got to do anything again.
We got like 15 minutes left, and we've only asked 3 questions.
All right, question 4 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it, Eddie.
Yeah, we watched it for you. You're good, unless you want to watch something terrible.
Yeah.
Question. Oh well, we're on question 3 technically.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Which iconic comedian produced Star Trek, the original series, when so many others didn't want to take a chance on it?
Which iconic comedian? Yeah, I would have to watch it again because I was trying to take the movie seriously, Jeff, and I did not enjoy it at all. So I wasn't able to laugh, sadly. I was more like...
And it wasn't supposed to be a comedy.
Right. But yeah, what iconic comedian... Yeah, Eric, that's a good call. I already gave him the answer. What iconic comedian produced Star Trek the TV show? I do know that you know this one, but I know that you know this one. I think I told you the question, but I think you already knew it anyways. There you go, Eddie. You can come on in, get some points, dude. There we go. Stevie B's got an answer. Everybody else, take those answers. Mel Brooks, that's a good. Oh, did Jess do it? Oh, Jess did it first. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, Jess got it first. I guess it jumped ahead. So Jess gets the 3 points for Lucille Ball. Steve Vendetta, you get points for Mel Brooks because man, I love that. 2 points to Stevie B. Oh, okay. Eric did know it. Well, then we'll give Eric a point. So, yeah, points all around, Wendy. You know what's going on. What's the next question?
Okay, what famous journalist and screenwriter won the Pulitzer Prize for criticism in 1975?
Their name was mentioned earlier, by the way. Not to say anything about any litigious religions, but there are archived L. Ron Hubbard writings all about how to create the perfect scam cult. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised. I think Lyle is behind because he just said Dune.
Yeah, I think so too.
Lyle, you might want to catch up, homie. So yeah, who was the first person to win the Nobel Prize for Pulitzer Prize?
He was the first person in his field
to
win the Pulitzer Prize for criticism.
Pulitzer Prize for criticism. Elena says, my mother. That definitely gets a point. Think about it, criticism. And if you guys watched the interview earlier, it's actually based on one of the books that is going to go to the winner tonight. One of the short stories, actually. If that helps at all. And if you didn't watch, shame on you, because Milton is a cool dude, and he's got great books, and you guys are going to love these. Yeah, yep.
I mean, the only hint I can give is it's been a giveaway.
Well, I mean, Lois Lane. Everyone seems stumped. Frank Herbert. No, not Frank Herbert. Okay, critique. He won for criticism. So, and let's just say he was a movie critic. we got a correct answer going on. You know what? Because we know he knows it, we're gonna give 3 points to Steve Vendetta. We're gonna give 2 to Eddie because Eddie, I love you, Eddie. Eddie's like, man, I've won so much stuff. I don't want to take everything away from everybody. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Stevie B gets a point. Eric, Lyle, even though he's answering like 12 questions ago. Candace, of course. Okay. Let's keep pushing ahead. Let's do another one. Pat Sajak. That's great, Lyle. Now you're definitely caught up. Let's do one more and then we'll go to commercial.
Okay. Which indie comic creator, editor, and podcaster shares a birthday with Orson Welles?
Ooh, that's a really good one. Which indie comic, what is it, writer, editor, or creator, editor, and podcaster?
Podcaster.
Whom could that be? I'm interested to hear. It's funny, I go a little silent, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not really allowed to let dead air as I'm waiting for you guys to answer. And, of course, you guys are a couple seconds behind, so I have to wait. Kevin Smith is a great answer. Neil Adams, great answer. Nope. Indie. Think a lot more indie, like super indie. Now, I will say, as y'all stumped me on that one, it's a tough one, so I'll give you guys a big clue. Kevin Smith has lost an awful lot of weight, but when he was still chubby, this dude looked a lot like Kevin Smith. There is a correct answer down there. It's not Henri. It's not Henri. Will Eisner? Nope. Steve Vendetta, smart person. Winkety wink. Chubby Checkers. I have been called chubby at least.
I almost want to give him the 2 points.
All right. You know what? Give Lyle 2 points for that. That's hilarious. Does this person give a puck? They do. They do, in fact. That's right, guys. I share a birthday. Fats Domino. Eric's in there now. Thank you, guys. That's right. I share my birthday, May 6th, with the amazing Orson Welles. So that's kind of cool. Who else do I share? Oh, yeah. I also share a birthday with George Clooney. Which is another cool one. Jess gets some points, too. While Wendy is tacking up all the points for everybody. She's giving out the points, taking care of you guys. We're going to go to some awesome commercials. We will be right back after this.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Did you know that across America there are over 2, maybe even 3 live stream producers who can't even afford Mountain Dew? Take Brian here. Brian has gone 2 weeks without a sip of Red Bull. If it goes on much longer, he may take a shower and get a real job. Situations like this are as tragic as they are preventable. Join the experience on YouTube and gain access to special emojis and members-only streams. For less than a cup of coffee, you can keep socially awkward hermit people working from their parents' basements where they belong. Scan the QR code on the screen to join. You'll be glad you did.
Go follow the experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Well, hello, my friends. It would seem that the cat finally knocked. Oh, I think they're back. The cat knock you off there?
No, I don't know what the heck happened. It just all of a sudden stopped. I was like, oh, crap. No, I know, yeah. I can't even blame it on animals. That's the crappy thing. Oh, and Eddie, this is so sweet. You guys, thank you so much for all the love, guys. Yeah, I love your show. You guys are a lot of fun, and I'm not saying that because of the prizes. Just want to say thank you. Man, we loved it. Like, seriously, this is one of our funnest moments is being able to do this show. We're always so excited. So thank you, guys. We really are having a blast. We really appreciate all of you guys sharing this around and checking everything out. And then speaking of that, actually, there's 2 Kickstarters I would love to talk about real quick. I know we don't have a lot of time left, but please, if you can check out Henri Compan's War Lion if you haven't already. I got to edit that. It's an amazing book. Also check out Travis Gibb, who has been on here before. He's got Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies, The Trade. Check that out. I've got a awesome story, and I have a story in there that I wrote. So please go check both of those out. Oh, we're getting love from the Great White North. So much love. You guys are freaking awesome. You know what? No more of that mushy stuff. Wendy, do we have another question?
We have a few more.
Let's do it.
All right. What is the highest grossing sci-fi movie of all time worldwide?
What is the highest grossing sci-fi movie of all time worldwide? Gosh. That one was my pet. Not Star Wars.
So Star Wars was domestically.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the Star Wars, right? It was Phantom Menace.
But no, it did not take the worldwide spot.
Yeah. Aw, I love you guys so much. Ratava? I've never heard of that. Not Star Wars, guys. Do we have a hint? 2001: A Space Odyssey. Great answer, but no. Well, okay. Well, the sequel came out recently.
Yes, it did, and it's actually number 2.
That's right. And the funny thing is, the sequel, I was just told, is just about to be on. Steve Vendetta got so excited. Capital letters. Good for you, dude. That's right. It's Avatar. Yeah, they just announced it to be on Disney Plus. So here's a crazy thing. Never seen it. Never seen Avatar.
Oh, Eddie. He spelled it backwards.
Oh, that's what. Oh, Ratava. Eddie, you brilliant bastard, you. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, JD, for putting those Kickstarters up. I really appreciate you, dude. Points for everybody. Next question, Wendell.
Hold on, I'm giving points.
Oh, okay. Wendy's still doing points. But yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, please check out those Kickstarters. I want them to do really well. For lots of reasons. But because both of them are great stories, and I love those dudes. They've been so good to me. So while we're sharing the love, I wanted to share it with them.
Okay.
You pointed up? All right. Next question, Wendell.
Okay. Lost one spot. Okay. After New York, what city holds the world's second biggest Pride Day parade?
After New York, what city holds the second biggest Pride parade in the world? So I'm gonna, because we don't have a lot of time, I'm gonna give you a clue right away. It's not in North America. So if you're jumping on to like a San Francisco or something, Toronto has a huge one, Steve. It's definitely, I believe it's in the top 10, but no, not Toronto. Not in North America.
Behind again. It's not in the U.S. or North America at all.
Yeah. Berlin's a great one too. Nope. It's not in North America. Winkety wink, if that helps at all. Look at you, Eddie. We're giving you the 3 points, Eddie. I don't care anymore.
I've been giving you.
Oh, have you? Oh, good. You're a sweetheart.
Right. We'll give that to Jay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Steve said it first. Steve Vendetta.
Oh, he sure did. I'm so sorry.
Yep. No, it's got this way of like it shows up, and then it moves them around. So we sometimes have to look. But yeah, we both did the same thing, by the way. Yeah. It shuffles them around. But yeah, that's right, guys. Sao Paulo, Brazil, has the second biggest. I'm just throwing stuff out. Gee, that's how you do it, man. That's how you get those points. But yeah, because it's Pride Month, that's what we wanted to talk about. What's the next question, Wendy?
Okay. Which Star Wars prequel actor and action star is celebrating their birthday today?
That's right. Which Star Wars prequel star and action star is celebrating their birthday today? How many more questions do we have, Wendy? Oh, just one more. Okay, because I was going to give them a...
Hayden Christensen's an action star?
Yeah.
Who was he in?
He's been in Jumper. He's done a bunch of stuff.
Oh, I don't like him, so I don't know.
Oh, well, he's not terrible in other things. Not Hayden Christensen. Not Ewan McGregor. Not Sam Jackson, if you believe it. I love that. That's hilarious, Eddie. That was great. That's right, Stevie. Tom Jones' birthday is today, but not much of an action star, I'll tell you.
Or a Star Wars actor.
Yeah. Though if he was in Star Wars, that would be great, I think. He should have been in the cantina scene.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, the elephant dude playing, and he's like, it's not unusual to be loved by all you freaks. But not Harrison Ford, because he wasn't in the prequels. All right, he turned 71 today, but he does not look it. I'm taken with this guy because he's just so handsome.
I was trying to figure out a sentence to say.
Oh, we're terrible, and now it's all jumping in. Stevie B, I believe, came first, then Steve Vendetta. We're gonna give Eddie. I still think your answer's hilarious. Happy birthday, MFer. Yeah, that's right, guys. Liam Neeson's birthday is today, so happy 71st birthday. He's a handsome dude for 71, man. I
do like his stuff.
I like his stuff too. Yeah. Handsome mofo, Yoda. That's great, Eddie. All right, do we have one final question?
Yes.
Okay, I think we're ready for one final question. Okay. Let's do it.
So this is a really way out there question, but Chuck is a poker player.
Oh, that's right.
And the World Poker Tour is going on right now.
World Series of Poker.
World Series of Poker, sorry. So here is a poker question.
Okay, so it's not just me. All right, I was waiting for a second. I don't have a final question about poker I could ask you. Hopefully they'll reboot very quickly and get back on. That is a good place to lock up on Chuck's face, though. That's almost perfect. I don't really know what to do now. We got 3 minutes left, and I don't have access to. Oh, there they go. They go. Hopefully they'll be back very soon. Oh, both Wendy and Chuck are gone now. So I'm wondering if I think their cat finally went in the backyard, just dug up the internet line, and yeah. So World Series of Poker, huh? Cats could be the answer. We don't know. That's the thing. All of these answers could be correct at this point. It's like Schrodinger's question. Until we hear it, our answers are both correct and incorrect at the same time. So let's see. Must mean, Eddie, they folded. They folded on the show, I think, is the problem. Oh, I think we might have him back. Let me see here.
Guys, I know, right? Okay, so this one's interesting. The power went out to her entire house, including, power out to the entire house. So we lost internet and everything. So this one, can't blame on cats, can't blame on anything. Do I have an extra minute to do this question, or should we just tally up the points now?
Go for it.
All right, cool.
We did not hear the question, so go for it.
All right, great. So in poker, Texas Hold'em, what is the last card to be put on the table? What is the final card to be put on the table for Texas Hold'em? I love you. And by the way, you guys are so great. It went dead, and all of a sudden everyone's here. Okay, well, don't worry about that right now, Wendy. Okay, so you lost all the points? Oh, good.
I haven't gotten to that point where I can see
Schrodinger's hand, ace on the river. You guys are hilarious. We did sort of get abducted. Oh, Steve Vendetta got it. Okay, and then Stevie B right behind the river. That's correct. Mississippi River, nice. So give some points. 3 points to Steve Vendetta, 2 points to Stevie B. Make sure Eddie gets one. Jay Burns, Alina. Everybody, right? Jess, Lyle. What? So Wendy's going over the points right now. Okay. So Wendy's just checking the points right now. Just give us a quick second. Okay. All right. Yep. No, she got it. Okay. Cool. So our winner today, Stevie B. Congratulations, Stevie B. You win that amazing prize package. Milton Lawson, you get the ash can of the new book, Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds. You get Thompson Heller, Detective Interstellar. You get all of his stuff. So you get so many comics. Make sure all of you fill out your registration. Come on by. Yes, Stevie B, you won. Great job, everybody. Congratulations. Next week, we're going to have my favorite dude, or one of my favorite dudes, Braden Cox, who's going to be here. So please make sure to stay tuned. And we've got more great shows right after this. My name is Chuck, and I give a fuck. Take care, guys.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR